Okay, with that, let's take a look at what's happening in the broader end of the market. Yes, the Nifty is seeing some pressure, down about 0.5% now, struggling to hold on to the 25,900 mark. We're barely above that level for now. Other than that, the Nifty small cap index is the one that is seeing steeper cuts, a 0.7% cut on the Nifty small cap space. Nifty mid cap index is also lower by about 0.6%, so that's not looking good. Let's take a look at some of the winners and losers from this end of the basket. Supreme Industries, Bharti Hexacom, Astral doing well from the mid-cap end with big cuts on PB Fintech, down about 5%. BSE Limited today is lower by 2.5%, as is the case with Bharat Dynamics. Talking about the small cap space, the top gainers here are Chambal Fertilizers, Brainbees, Natco, and on the flip side, some pressure on Ola Electric, about a 4.25% cut on that stock, followed by Hindustan Copper, Garden Reach, NBCC, and PG Electroplast. All of these stocks seeing cuts anywhere between 2 and 4.5%. So, Shrishti, that is the way the broader end of the market is shaping up to be like right now.
All right, so let's watch out that if there's any sort of an uptick or a recovery in the broader end of the market. But let's get started with the mid-cap masala and try to get the managements of the mid-cap space and definitely some of these counters that have been buzzing on the back of the news flow. And firstly, let me welcome the management of Vascon Engineers, wherein Mr. Siddharth Vasudevan Moorthy, who's the managing director of Vascon Engineers, is joining us onto the show. A very good morning and thank you so much for our time. This is Shrishti. And firstly, let's talk about your most recent order win. That was around 260 odd crores from the Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation. If you can tell us more about this particular project, what's the scope of this project and what's the pipeline looking like?
Sure. Thank you for having me. Good morning. And we just won this order recently. So this is a 260 crore hospital project, which has approximately 200 beds with a timeline of 36 months for completion. And our scope of work on this project is restricted to the civil work and some of the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing works on the project.
Okay, so that's the take on your latest project. But if I recall our earlier interaction, earlier in November, you told us that you have no CapEx plan for the EPC segment. Have you initiated any revision from there with long-term orders like the most recent one coming in? Has that caused or triggered any change in your CapEx plans?
No, so for EPC, generally, because we work with advances that we get from clients, so it's not CapEx heavy at this point of time. Also, the capacity that we're working on is only around 80% of our actual capacity that we can work. So at this point of time, we don't see any need for any heavy CapEx.
All right, but along with that, let's now talk about your order book, because last time you told us that your FY26 order inflow target is 1,500 to 2,000 crores and H2 is going to be a crucial one. So if you can give us some sense that how is H2 shaping up so far, because this is one of the recent orders, but along with that, for now, where does the total order book stand and what's your expectation from Q4?
Yeah, so our order book without this order was standing at around 2,800 crores. Obviously, one of the things is that we are continuously bidding for new orders. We've been careful in taking orders because we like to protect our bottom lines as well, and we're not, really taking orders just to get top line revenues. So we've been, kind of conservative, but we're very confident that we'll be able to get to those numbers that I've mentioned.
And while we're talking about the orders and the order book, if you could throw some light on your private sector order book, what is the share of that in your total order book, and are you targeting any mix between the private and public sector in the order book?
Absolutely. So in the private sector, we've been focusing only on grade A clients. So currently our clients are, of the like of Vedanta and Capgemini, etc. So we want to be working with the top companies of the country. And right now, our private order book would be around 25% of the total order book. But ideally, we would like to see this closer to 40%. So we are taking steps to try and make that happen.
All right, but along with that, you generally execute 1/3 of your order book in 1 year. Now with an order book of over 2,800 crores, I believe that we will see an unusual accelerated pace of the execution in the second half. Any measures that are underway in Q3 to hit the full year revenue target?
So generally, Q1 and Q2 are slightly slower because of the weather conditions across the country, and monsoons don't allow us to work to our potential. But like now we're done with the season and we've already been working hard. So we should be hitting the numbers that we had projected.
Okay, that sounds good. And if you could throw some light about any clarity with regards to your MOU with Adani Infra, which covers 3 initial Mumbai projects, any potential guidance if you'd like to share, or if you could provide a clearer timeline for the first project?
So yes, we are working on it on the design phase. Like, we had signed an early stage MOU, which means that unlike the regular EPC projects, we come in here and, partner with Adani to ensure that designs are efficient for construction. So that is what is currently happening. Once we're done with this phase, we will then move on to execution. So that's where we stand as of now.
All right, but beyond the projects that are still underway, are you actively evaluating the entry into any of the other new high growth geographies like Hyderabad or Bangalore, so to say, similar to your recent moves by the large national developers is what we are seeing? What are your plans?
Yes, so for EPC, of course, we're very nomadic in nature, so we're happy to work in any part of the country. Currently, our footprint is across the country. We're working in all 4 corners. And, we're happy to do work in almost any city in the country for EPC. For real estate, of course, we're more careful about it because local knowledge is very critical for real estate growth. And therefore, we've been only focusing on Mumbai and Pune as of now.
Okay, Mr. Moorthy, that sounds really good. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you joining us on the show and giving us some more perspective on the growth plan for the company. Thanks once again.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, viewers, with that, on that note, it's time to slip into a very short break on this edition of Midcap Masala. On the other side of the break, we'll be chatting with the management of Intellect Design Arena. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.